Hello and welcome to the third video in the ECO SharePoint training series. In this video, we will review how to edit and delete records, bulk data entry, documents and ECO shared documents, and other helpful tools. First, we'll begin by editing and deleting a record. To do this, it's going to be similar in the participants and the classes section. In this example, we'll be using the participants section. So here we select participants from the quick launch menu. I'm going to expand one of these sections and select a participant by using this edit icon. Once I select that participant, I'm going to be able to not only edit, but also delete a record. So here, I can add an email address. I can update a phone number. If the class group, the sessions, any of this information has changed, you're able to do it once you're in this edit mode. If you've noticed that perhaps this record is a duplicate of some kind, then you may want to delete this record. There really isn't a need to delete any other records. For instance, if a participant does not complete a session, if they've only registered, you don't actually need to delete that record. In fact, you shouldn't delete that record. You should leave that record, but then you just wouldn't populate that they have completed any of the sessions. So once I have edited this record, I'm going to click OK. And then when we look at the record again, we'll notice that the email has been added. And then when we click on this record, we can also see that the phone number has been edited as well. Now we're going to go and look at how the instructor and the sessions sections are slightly different. And in this example, I am going to select the sessions. So here, once I select a session, you'll notice that I just click on the name of that session. There isn't an edit icon next to that record. You simply click on the name of that session. And here, then I see, once I get into this record, the edit option and the delete option. So here I'll click edit. And this is where, if I notice a typo in the name, I can adjust that. If I notice that the session length is incorrect, I can adjust that as well. You can adjust anything here. If that session actually was not completed, you can delete the hours complete. You can change the instructor. And once you finish, you can select OK. And again, there's no real need to delete a record unless for some reason there is a duplicate. If a session does not end up taking place, you simply wouldn't enter in the hours complete. But if a session is actually duplicated on accident, then you can go ahead and delete that record. In this case, I know that it's not a duplicate, so I'm going to keep it and select OK. The next section we're going to review is bulk data entry. And a user may be wondering, how can I enter multiple participants as having completed their training all at one time? A great way to do that is through bulk data entry. So I'm going to select the participant section, and under Actions, select Edit in Datasheet. Once you select that, it pulls up all of the same information as in the previous screen, except it's in a spreadsheet format that's editable. So, for instance, if we know that Wilbur Post completed all 3 sessions, we can easily click all of those as completed and also select his completion date. For here, we know that he completed the June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So his completion date would be June the 3rd. So I'm going to go back and enter June 3rd, 2012. And if I notice any other participants that may need to be checked off, I can do that here again. And then I can add their completion dates. We'll use January 13th for these. And then January 25th. Ooh. And that's how you bulk enter data. You can also do any other field in this spreadsheet using the bulk data entry. You can select the sessions. You can enter email addresses. And in the next video, you'll see how to create a custom view. So any fields that you feel you would use bulk entry, you can create a view and then enter any of those details in the bulk data entry. So a couple of things to keep in mind too, when you're in the edit and data sheet, just as in any other section, you're going to be able to sort, you're going to be able to filter, and then the way to save is just going back to the standard view. So once you select Show in Standard View, all of those records will be updated. The next section we're going to review is Documents and ECO Shared Documents. You'll notice on the Quick Launch menu, right under Facility Documents, the Documents section. When I click on that, you'll notice there are currently no files in this section. Normally for subrecipients, you will actually see all of the original paperwork that was submitted to Connect Ohio. So the subaward agreement, it would also include the instructor rate validation form and all of the other documents originally submitted in order to become a subrecipient. This is also the section where you can upload any information that you feel your staff might need access to. For instance, if any instructors have training handouts or any materials that would be helpful during a session, you can upload those here. And you would do that by selecting Upload. And then proceeding to upload that file. You can upload a single document from your computer, or you can upload multiple documents. Please keep in mind that the ECO documents that Connect Ohio uploads for your resource, those should not be deleted or edited at any time. If you need to update any of your forms, please inform the State Operations Manager. For instance, if an organization needs to add or remove any training facilities, new profile forms should be filled out and given to the State Operations Manager. If an organization is unable to purchase or has decided not to purchase the originally agreed upon computers for the program, then an amendment needs to be filled out and given to a State Operations Manager. If an organization needs to increase the number of instructor hours originally contracted, again, an amendment should be filled out and submitted to the State Operations Manager. If a registration phone number for any facility changes, then a new profile form should be filled out and given to the State Operations Manager. If you have any questions, again, please contact your State Operations Manager. In the next section is the ECO shared documents, and you'll access that from the Quick Launch menu. This section is for all subrecipients for the ECO program. It includes a lot of helpful information, including best practices sharing. This folder goes over some of the items that subrecipients have created on their own that we believe are best practices that you can utilize or view in this section. There is an invoice template in the ECO invoicing section. The Every Citizen Online awareness materials has posters, bookmark templates, and other materials that are helpful in marketing your program. The ECO subrecipient SharePoint training, this document is a document to help you go through SharePoint training to review information or to train another staff member at your organization. Again, there are additional helpful tools in this section that you can utilize. There will also be links to these videos in this section and other helpful links, such as a link to the ECO self-paced training and to My Connect View, which allows consumers to view broadband providers in their area as well as research other mapping data from Connect Ohio. The final section we're going to review is other helpful tools. So I'm going to go back to the ECO training site. And in this example, I'm selecting the participants and going to Actions. Here you'll notice that I can export to a spreadsheet. This will allow me to capture all of the information in this participant section in a spreadsheet. So for instance, if I wanted to print the participants for an instructor, I could easily do that by exporting all of the participants into an Excel and printing those out. You'll notice that there are some security items that will pop up when you're exporting information, just to make sure that you're not exporting information that may be harmful to your computer. You'll also notice that you'll have to log in again to SharePoint, and this is another added security feature. So you'll see that all of the participant information has been exported neatly into an Excel spreadsheet. And you can either customize this before you print it, or you can print it as is. The next helpful tool is the Alert Me. And it's again going to be under Actions. Users can set up alerts when items in the site change. However, keep in mind that the messages will only be delivered to the email address used to log in. Now, we've already reviewed how to upload a document in the document section. Keep this in mind again for any instructor materials, any staff materials that you feel might be helpful for others to access when logging into SharePoint. There's another helpful tool under Actions. If you use a database, you can open with access all of the data that you've collected in whatever section you are in. Right now I'm going to go back to the document section and show another helpful tool. Under Actions, only when you're in a document section will you see this option, and it's the option to open with Windows Explorer. And when you use this tool, you can basically drag and drop files from your computer easily into SharePoint without having to upload individual files and without having to go to uploading the multiple documents. Again, you'll have to log in for security purposes. And once you do that, it will bring up your Windows Explorer. And this way you can drag and drop information easily into whatever section of the SharePoint site you're in. This concludes all of the additional training in this section. Thanks so much for joining.